You're listening to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Salimova, here to make home loans and property investing simple, smart and stress-free. Let's get you closer to your property dreams. Welcome back. About the state of economy. I've got James Buchanan with me today. Hello,
Buongiorno.
James. Long time no see.
Yeah, it has been.
We had a lot on.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about where are the interest rates heading and what's actually happening.
Absolutely.
So, OCR is due to be reviewed next week, 9th of July. What are your thoughts?
Well, just based on what other people say, economists and so forth and their commentary, I wouldn't be surprised if it stays as it is. I think because there's, with inflation not quite as high as what we thought it was, and with the Middle East crisis or the war between, US and, we've got oil prices come right back. So it's not looking like it's quite so necessary to increase the OCR as what it was perhaps a couple of months ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if it stays flat. Stays flat. Yeah. So I was reading this morning from Tony Alexander update as well. And initially I think all the banks were freaking out a little bit. And ANZ was one of the first ones that increased the interest rates a month ago. And actually their tracking was one of the highest at the moment. And then ASB has actually kept it quite low. Westpac and BNZ had a moment of panic and they both increased their interest rates last week. But it came down since then. Yeah. Well, I have heard that the Westpac have now changed their mind on whether they don't think there's going to be an OCR rise. They're leaning towards it holding. But it's interesting what you say about ASB and ANZ. Sent a comparison to a client yesterday, one who's got approval with both lenders. And ASB is looking pretty sharp.
Definitely a winner.
Yeah.
But that also reflected now in the turnaround times. ANZ approves our deals within a day or two.
Yeah.
And then ASB is like taking a week. So
I know, it's just been a complete turnaround. Like for me, ASB was the first bank that would always get back to me. Now ANZ is getting back to you within a couple of days, and you've got the client across the line, and then these other banks are lining up. But even if the rate is higher from ANZ, the clients are like so pleased with what ANZ has done in terms of service that they're quite keen to stay with them.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, anything below 5 is a good rate. Anything below 6 is a good rate.
Yep.
Right, at the climate that we're in, because property prices are still quite low.
Yep.
We are still seeing really good deals out there. Just last week, I had another single mama buy a property. So that was really cool.
Cracks me up when you call them single mamas.
Single mama. Well, there was another single daddy that you're working with at the moment. So, so we're definitely seeing a lot of people that are keen to get on a property ladder that probably wouldn't have had that opportunity before.
Yep. Well, the great thing is, from our perspective and our clients' perspective, even though there's lots of things that are volatile in the broader market, it's really worked in first home buyers' favour because we've had this protracted period of it being a buyer's market. There's no way I would have thought this buyer's market would have lasted as long as what it has. But it's still Wellington's still 30% off highs or from the peak, I think. Kapiti's probably not too far behind. So and people got really good deposits.
And that was my other point as well that I was about to raise, that a lot of people have been putting money away for quite some time into KiwiSaver. KiwiSaver has definitely helped heaps of people get on the ladder right now, and that if they had their KiwiSaver in the right funds and it performed really well for them, then they suddenly got all this money than they wouldn't have had otherwise.
And I know I can think of just one client off the top of my head who is really happy that we suggested they get advice on putting to protect their deposit, go from a growth fund to a conservative fund.
This is not a financial advice.
No, it's not. And I didn't give them that advice. I asked them to talk to their provider about it.
Yeah. And again, right, that makes the difference in this volatile market because your KiwiSaver could be 100K today and drop down to 90 tomorrow. So you just never know. So you've got to keep an eye on those things. You've got to be more responsible. Hey, did you know I'm running a webinar next week?
I did know that. And I know many people that also know that.
So for those that are
absolutely.
listening, and if you're a first-time buyer, do come in. We're going to talk about what to do to prepare yourself. If you're looking to buy a house in the next 6 to 12 months, those webinars have always been very useful, because often I'll get calls from people that attended the webinar like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they go, I remember you from that webinar, I'm ready now. So so if you're thinking that you want to buy a house in the next 6 to 12 months, that's the one for you to attend. So drop us a message, we'll send you a link. But apart from that, I think summary of today's discussion really is OCR should still stay stable at the next review, and it's probably going to go up in September. The interest rates sort of come down. But again, if you're floating, don't delay any longer.
Yeah.
Do something about it. If you're refinancing, really good time to refinance. There are some really good offers out there from some banks.
Yep.
1% cashback, 1.25% cashback. Very attractive. And look, if you're just on the fence and if you don't know what to do, just reach out. We'll be able to help you.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, James, for popping in. Always
Bye-bye.
a pleasure to see you, and talk next time.
Yep.
And that's a wrap on That Home Loan Hub. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join me next time for more property tips and tricks. Your next smart move starts here.